All right, the next one that we're going to check is the candlestick chart. Now, the candlestick chart is a so-called OHLC, so open, high, low, close chart with volume added on top of it. So it's a professional chart if you need it for trading. So let's open it. It has more or less the same customizable options as other charts like line or area charts, but with slightly different stuff. So in terms of the code, same situation. You have all the initialization, the customization on the top, and then the data set on the bottom at the set data values. Now, as you can see, we are not initializing it with name and values like other charts, but we actually set a date, a particular date. We set an open, a high, a low, a close, and a volume in terms of the data values. And that would draw out a candle because the particular candles themselves, they have a open where it actually started to draw. And then the close, meaning wherever it closed. So let's say it started here, but then it closed here. You have a low and high, meaning how low the particular candle went, or high, how high the particular candle went, and that will essentially draw out the candle itself and the volume, which is the trading volume in that particular date. Now that will draw out these particular candles for you. That's how it's going to look like. And then let's talk about customization. Of course, in the design, you have the usual themes, so modern, minimalistic, cyberpunk, professional, or custom. And of course, if it's custom, you can set a background color or leave it blank for transparent. You can set textColor. You can set a grid color instead of the white one. It's gonna be a blue one. The borderRadius, shadowBlur, and offset will not control anything in this particular chart, but the font size will be, so directly increase the font size itself, or the fontFamily, or the fontWeight itself, which going to only affect in the tooltip the weight itself. So again, not all the values in the custom affects the chart, but most does. Let's set back to default one. And then let's move into the next one. So instead of having a custom color, like in the previous ones where you set individual value colors, you set a bearish and a bullish color, meaning that the bullish color will contain the color for the bullish candles, and the bearish color will contain the color for obviously the bearish candle, right? So you can just set these two particular colors because that's how candlestick charts are drawn. Now you can set the wick width, meaning that this particular line right here, this is the wick. It could set the width of the wick. You can also set the candle width. So how wide they should be, 100% wideness, meaning they touch the other candle, and of course a 40%, meaning it's a large space in between. By default, it's set to 70%. No, 80%, which is a very healthy value. I do set everything on default values to make it the best looking outcome, but of course you can play with it if you want to. And of course the animation duration, how fast they should be drawn. Really small one, meaning just appears like this, or really fast like this, or no animation. In that case, just turn it off like this. Okay, so dark mode, again, fully support light and dark mode. As you can see, the text right away set to black instead of white if you set the theme, and of course you can control it from your own application from here as such. Volume, if you enable volume, there will be an extended part down here which will directly tell you what was the volume on the particular day specifically. You can also set the grid on or off, meaning that you want grid or you want no grid. You can set the labels, so you want labels or you don't want labels. You can set the tooltip. There is no tooltip like this, but if you enable it, if I go there, it will highlight the particular candle with a nice outline. And of course, it will tell me that on June 3rd, it had an open, a high, a low, a close, and a change in terms of percentage along with a volume indicator. And this is very great, an advanced tooltip. And of course, this tooltip could be a normal or an advanced one, just like in the line and area chart, meaning if I set it to normal, then I have to physically go and touch the particular candles. But if it's an advanced one, then meaning that I essentially can just go wherever I want, so I don't need to touch the candles, but it straight away will find the closest one to me just like in the other ones, right? Okay, so that's it for the tooltip. The glow effect, so it can add a very distinctive glow effect on top of the candles itself, and of course the KMBT formatting. Now this just says 150, but we discussed in the line and bar charts that the KMBT format means that because you are sending your values like 150, 153, these are numerical values. If you would send 150,000, for example, that's numerical values. So KMBT format essentially allows you to format them in such way that instead of 150,000, it will say 150K. Or if it's above a million, it will be, say, M, or B for billion, or 3 for trillion. So if you have a candlestick chart for high prices, let's say an asset has $2,000, for example, you could say 2K if you enable this one. Custom axis, now what this does, basically, similarly to the line and the area chart or even other charts, you can set a pre or after fix for every single open, high, low, or close. Meaning that the open, the high, the low, the close, and the volume each going to have a value pre and after fix and a name pre and after fix. Even for the name in this case, because you don't set the name yourself, meaning that you have to set it as open, as high, as low, as close. But if you would like to present it on the chart differently, this is the place where you can do that. For example, if I set a dollar sign here for the open, high, low, close, like this, then it would mean that if I go there, now it says 151 and it's a dollar sign here, right? And we could say, let's say that for the name, we do an after suffix, right? And we say spacebar, and we say USD. And we just do it on the name suffix specifically. And that would mean if we go there, it says open USD, high USD, low USD, close USD. Like you can prefix or afterfix both the name and the particular value for the open, high, low, and close. It's really good formatting, so you don't need to modify the DOM or anything in order to do that, but you can directly send it that way. Okay, so and as you can see, the US KMBT formatting already works right here in the volume, because instead of literally typing out 3 million and flowing out, it will say 3.5 M like this. This is really nice. Okay, so what else? We do have a zoom here. So of course we can zoom into the chart, zoom in or zoom out like this. And if we zoom in, we can of course move the chart itself. We also have a zoom tool. So if we enable it, this is the zoom tool itself. So just like in the previous charts, you can zoom in, zoom out, either by the tool or your scroll bar itself. And you also have a zoom range start and end, meaning if I set from 0 to 1, that means I am essentially asking the first just to render out this particular part by default, or I could set it to 5 like this, and now it renders the whole data set itself. Now, of course, it's a little bit difficult to imagine how it would look like on a large data set, because right now we just have 5 data sets. But if we scroll down, right, of course, we see the key features, and of course, some recommendation what it's perfect for, and the configurable options, which again, the first part is from design up to fontWeight, representing the custom. So everything you see here in terms of customizations in the design, it will represent from here to here. And then from the candleWidth up until here in the end, this is all essentially whatever you can do up in this section. So all the customization options right here, it will be representing right here. Now, of course, like in the area or line charts, I do recommend to always come here to the configurable options, because essentially here you will find particular values such as the move speed multiplier or the pinch zoom sensitivity, which I did not include in the upper demo section, because these set to a healthy default values, which are tested out to be the best values and the smoothest experience. But if you want to change it, it's up to you. I allow you to change it, but I didn't include it in the demo page because, well, first of all, there's not much space putting even more stuff here, unnecessary stuff here, specifically when these two values, like I mentioned, a 1.0 is the perfect and a 0.05 is literally the perfect zoom sensitivity on touch screens like phones. But if you want a more responsive, increase this value. If you want a less responsive, decrease this value. So it's up to you, but always come here and check everything here, because this will tell you exactly what you can do. So don't just go to the demo page and do that, but also come here and check, because you might find things here that are not in the demo section, but you can change it if you want to. Okay, let's see a larger data set. So this is an example line chart with a large data set. This is basically, if we have a look at it, October up until October again, 1.5 year. Let's say this is 1.5 year of daily prices with open, high, close, and change, of course, and volume. And as you can see, the volume bar in the bottom, now it looks kind of different than what you see in the top here, because of course here it would not look that good with 5 data points. It's not gonna be that good. But when you look at this way, and of course, again, same like the line chart or the area chart, fully zoomable. So I can either scroll to zoom, or I could use the zoom tool to actually scroll into the zoom into a direction, or I could just grab it and move it along the way like this accordingly. I can also scale it, meaning that, for example, I go into a part right here, which has some volatility. So I need to increase it like this, right? And I could also just click and move, so I can move the whole chart itself. So again, it's movable, it's scalable, and of course it's zoomable accordingly. And the whole volume part down here, it will automatically move along the way. So it's a professional candlestick chart. Feel free to use it for trading or anything else that you would like to add into your project. Now I tell you here how to utilize the OHLC data, and also with volume, how to use it with volume. You could do it in a this way, or you could do it in a more user-friendly for the eye kind of way, where you set it on each line like this. That's it for the candlestick chart. Again, as usual, you can download the core library and then just drop on top the candle itself, just this component, so core library plus the candle, or you download the full 200 kilobyte library and you add it accordingly to your particular project. That's it for the candlestick chart, and then let's move to the next chart.